Hi, I'm Gana Minali and this is my short video about social issue. My topic is abortion. Abortion is defined as the termination of pregnancy or expulsion from the uterus of a fetus or embryo in order to end a pregnancy. Any of various surgical method for terminating a pregnancy, especially during the first 6 months. Science procedure. They use a small rod called dilator will be put in your cervix to gently stretch it open. Sometimes luminaria stick of seaweed for the medical use are placed in the cervix, and this picture shows the science procedure. Science procedure definition. Commonly, abortion refers to an induced procedure at any point in the pregnancy. Medically, it is defined as a miscarriage or induced termination before 20 weeks gestation, which is considered non-viable. Human life begins. The question of when human life begins has been answered in a variety of ways by different religious and philosophical traditions throughout the age, leading many to consider the question cannot be definitively answered. There may not be a clear way of proving when human life begins. When life begins is of course the central disagreement that fuels the controversy over abortion, and this picture shows human embryonic and the fetal development from 3 weeks to 38 weeks. Legalization of abortion. It was legal in the United States from the time the earliest settler arrived. At the time the Constitution was adopted, abortion before quickening were openly advertised and commonly performed. History of abortion. There was a time when abortion was simply part of life in the United States. People did not scream about it. In protest and service were marketed openly. Abortion has been performed for thousands of years and in every society that has been studied. Reasons for abortion. Reason women choose abortion. Bad timing was the most common reason. Women gave for having an abortion. They weren't ready to have child or not being able to afford a child. Women do not make the decision lightly. Author of the study point out nor are they happy, and there is a picture primary reason for abortion. Social issues of abortion. Abortion does not eliminate problem. It further complicates and harms relationships in women's lives. Abortion can and will only make any situation worse. It allows abuse and loneliness to continue. It is a quick fix to a big problem. Harmful effect of abortion. Physical. National statistics on abortion show that 10% of women undergoing induced abortion suffer from the immediate complication, of which one-fifth, 20%, were considered major. Psychological. Temporary feelings of refill are frequently followed by a period psychiatric identified as emotional paralysis or post-abortion numbness. Ethics of abortion. There are both political and religious dimensions to ethical debate over abortion. Perhaps the most significant error which people make is to confuse the two, acting as though a decision on the religious front should necessitate a particular decision on the political front, where religious leaders have no authority and religious doctrines cannot be the basis for law. We must also accept that civil law may be the odd with religious belief. What is abortion?
Abortion is a procedure to end a pregnancy. It uses medicines or surgery to remove embryo from fetus and placenta from the uterus. It is often called miscarriage.
How does human life begin?
Human life begins when a sperm meets an egg. The egg fertilizes the sperm and then cell grows. When cell grows, it develops into a baby, and the baby grows into an adult.
What is the reason behind abortion?
The reason behind abortion is that some people not be ready for a baby or may have mistakenly done something to create that baby, so they don't have the money to raise that baby, so that's why they want to get rid of the baby.
What do you think about abortion? Do you think it is legal or illegal?
I think it's both, because if you abort that baby before 23 weeks, then it's legal in this country because that baby is not fully developed. But if you abort that baby after 32 weeks, then it's illegal. It is illegal because that baby started to grow in your stomach, started to breathe, it moves around, so it's illegal.
How do you decide where, like, do you think that it should be a 2-month cutoff for an abortion?
Oh, interesting.
Where do you come up with that as someone that isn't coming from the religious angle, but is coming from the science-based angle?
I'd say abortion should be legal up until 12 years old, probably. Like until the brain is fully, no.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be more like 25.
We got the meme for the show.
Yeah.
That's the one that's going to take off.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I am an evidence-based thinker. I try to be an evidence-based thinker and a skeptical thinker, and I try to listen to the science first and then make my political decisions based on that. So I am liberal.
Yeah.
I am left-wing. I am progressive. I think it's easy to paint me in that. But I'm also super mandatory vaccinations. I'm pro-GMOs, which is usually a more conservative viewpoint. So sometimes it's hard to put me in a box. Now, I'm not pro-life. I am pro-life. I hate that term. It makes it sound like I'm not. I am pro-choice. Not because, it's partially because of the science, and it's partially because I'm not religious. And I think that a lot of pro-life ideology comes purely from religion. And once you take religion out of the equation, it becomes a much more nuanced and complicated topic. I am pro-choice, meaning that I don't think that if a woman wants to have an abortion, she shouldn't be able to. And I don't think that if a woman wants to keep her baby, she should be coerced to have an abortion. I think that a woman should be able to make a decision based on her own body. And in my view, which may sound kind of extreme, until that baby is born, it's hers. It's her body.
Right. So I agree with you, I guess, up until that point. I'm absolutely pro-choice. But a week before the birth? I mean, where, you know what I mean? I know that gets into just
a straw man argument because it doesn't happen.
Right.
It's like the voter ID stuff, you know, like, oh, voter fraud. We got to be careful about that. Women don't carry babies to a week to term and then go, I think I'm going to lose this baby.
Right. All right. So at 3 months, when the baby now has features and, you know, all of these things, and I guess this is the slippery slope.
It's legal up to this point. It's legal. First and second trimester abortions are legal. And I think that you have to look at all. This is the thing. When you're writing laws, we have to think about not just the obvious cases, but the aberrant cases. This is why writing legislation is actually a very, you know, it's a nuanced and artistic endeavor. And especially then when you look at how you defend laws in the courts, right? When you look at case law, it's complicated because we have to fully understand all of the times when the laws could be misused or misinterpreted. And there are cases, for example, where a woman does not know that she is pregnant until well into her pregnancy. And I think you do have to take that into consideration. There are cases in which women are victims of coercion or abuse, or sometimes it is more nuanced than that. Maybe they feel pressure from their husband, their boyfriend, or a member of society to have a baby, and they don't realize until later that they do have these options. Maybe they fall on financially difficult times. Maybe they find out that there's you know, some sort of genetic abnormality in the baby and that they don't have the means to raise that baby. And I think that all of those really complicated, really emotional, personal questions have to be taken into account. I want to say, and maybe it's easy for me to say because I don't have kids, but the woman is the vessel and she is carrying this child, and until the child comes out of her, it is her body, it is her choice.